parts that don't require any audio or video in there. And welcome to our Top Rope Spoilers presentation for Night of Champions from Riyadh, Saudi Arabia this upcoming Saturday. This is On the Ring Apron, a subsidiary show of Mania Club, Foundation of Hope. It's been a while since we've done this as a group. For those of you who are wondering, no, I didn't eat them. No, I didn't throw them in the basement. They are still alive, and they are still here because they've missed 3 straight shows. But as you can see, they're here, they're alive, they're not mad at me more than usual.
He just pulled us out of the basement for this show. He's putting us back with our bars and everything.
With the baby Ruths and everything.
Yeah.
Either way. So reintroductions, I'm Steve.
I'm Alyssa.
Y'all know who I am. Vroom vroom. Kia.
Oh boy, if y'all only knew her DMV record. Back to the basement.
Shut up.
Back to the video.
Please and thank you. Let me see that spray bottle.
Either way, oh Lord. Yeah, and apparently we have a spray bottle now, so now we're going to be able to keep ourselves well-timed in terms of keeping on pace.
Oh no, this was for the cat. But,
yeah, I was going to say, we also have a new addition who might, who knows, might appear or not appear. We don't know.
No, but if you step out of line one more time, I'm about to spray you.
There's a fresh one if I mouth off again.
But no, for real. Keep going with the show, though.
All right, for bonus points, where's that movie from? Or where's that line from? What movie? Let's see if anybody picks up a bonus point. I can say it again. There's a fresh one if you mouth off again. Let's see who picks that one up. But either way, you see our show's standings down at the bottom. The OTRA is putting a little bit of a gap between all of us, thanks to the last couple of PLEs. That Money in the Bank PLE did not do favors for any of us, scoreboard-wise. Alyssa being the one who kind of took the hard fall there, but she's notorious for finding ways to then score 14 out of the next 15, and she'll be right back within a point, in no time at all. She didn't win this 2 years in a row for no reason. But we'll see how it all manages. But either way, if you're interested in becoming a part, and I mean, if you're watching us, then why aren't you interested? Go ahead and go to the link down below. It's going to appear just above. Well, I mean, it'll still technically be below me in just a moment, but it'll be further up on the page. But youtube.com/@ontheringapron. You also can follow us on all our social medias. And hey, for a year, we've actually been on Cameo for a year now. So it gave us a little star and a little thing near our names. So that was pretty neat.
It's called the check mark.
Yeah. Well, this was like a little metal badge thing. It was really neat.
Oh, okay.
Well, most people don't make it to a year, but we did it. So we're doing all right.
Yay!
Anyway, 6 matches on the card, and we'll go ahead and get things started. So let's move into the first match. Everybody hang on. We're about to go up. Let's see. That wasn't so bad.
Like a roller coaster ride.
But you see our, again, and as promised, the link is right down there. You can't click it on through this show, but you can obviously type it in. I figure everybody that uses a computer knows YouTube. I mean, even our little one knows how to get to YouTube.
Boy, does he. And he knows how to swipe
And
up
how.
and ignore a call, too.
Yeah, I would say nobody swipes up faster than a child watching a YouTube video when it comes to a call, a text message, any type of notification.
I don't care.
But our first match on the card, kind of a budding backstage rivalry that's going to finally find its way to the ring, as former Intercontinental Champion, former Tag Team Champion, Sami Zayn. I have the hiccups, so my apologies. Will finally get his one-on-one match with a man who's been tormenting him backstage for the last several months, in that of Karrion Kross. Kross has consistently been in Sami's craw for the last couple of months, saying it doesn't matter how good you are, it doesn't matter how hard you try, you're never going to be world champion unless you're prepared to go against the good nature that you are. If you continue to be like this, you're not like Cody, where you can get to the mountaintop on talent alone. You're not good enough. You're going to have to be willing to go to the dark side and go heelish ways if you want to be champion. Sami has stood to his guns despite the fact that he lost his opportunity to go for the world title at Mania. He lost the opportunity to go for the Intercontinental Championship. and then most recently was eliminated in the semifinals of the King of the Ring tournament, where he had a chance to not only become King of the Ring, but also a shot at the world title that would come along with it in a match at SummerSlam. More on that here in a little bit. But curious to hand it to the two of y'all to see what your thoughts are, because this entire storyline has basically written itself backstage, but now it's finally going to bleed out into the ring. Is this a good push in terms of how they've set things up with the constant back and forth, or is it a, poor in your opinion? And also, how does this look for Karrion now that it looks like he's finally going to return back to the ring, and which version of Karrion are we going to see? They're not the best color commentating team in the land for nothing.
But we are the best cleaners in our area, so
9 months running.
At number 1, don't play with us. So from my perspective, from what I have seen, Karrion Kross is really good about getting in people's mind, getting in their headspace, telling them what they, telling them, you're not good at this, and this. And then I like how he goes back, and after he makes that comment, he sits here and he sits back and he's like, I've gotten in his head. I know I've gotten in his head. And then, of course, you got Scarlett that's standing over him. She's there, and she's seeing everything. And what just gets me is he'll make his comments, and, like, Sami might slap him or hit him or do some verbal, whatever. And it makes it look like Karrion is hurt, but in low-key, he really isn't. He's like, oh, yes, Sami took the bait on this one. Let's see how this works out. I feel like Sami, low-key, if Sami goes back and he does his research and he does his homework and he looks back on all these episodes, he's going to see what he needs to see. And I feel like Sami could gain the advantage, but I feel like he probably could be at a disadvantage, too. Now, Karrion don't have AOP and General Granddaddy behind him. But he does have Scarlett, and she's always been a dangerous threat behind the scenes, behind her man. So, no AOP, but you still got Scarlett. Who does Sami truly really have? It's just like the whole Jey Uso thing. Jey is there for everybody, but then when it's time for him to get someone on his side, nobody's there for him. I feel like this is the same thing with Sami. Sami's there for everybody, but nobody's there for Sami.
I can see where you're coming from. Sami does have one advantage, though, and it is what we like to call the power of the cockroach.
No, for real.
Stated many a time on this show. I feel like there should be like the little rainbow thing that should go across. I'm gonna work on that before I make this go live.
Right.
Like that man can take whooping after whooping after whooping after whooping after whooping. And he even admitted that when they had the last face-off that I watched. He's like, yes, I go out there. Yes, I get my ass handed to me. Get my behind handed to me. My bad. My bad.
Rating officially up to PG-14.
Sorry. Yes, I get my behind handed to me in a basket, but at least I have the guts to come back out there and stand on business. And I'm like, you're right. And that is one thing I can't say about Sami. Sami can get his behind handed to him clean in the basket. It can be removed, and it can be put in that basket real nice. Put some little wrapping on there. Throw a little bow on it, smack it like that, and then take it back to him. And he'll take it. He'll surgically put it back on, and then he'll go back out there like nothing happened. And I mean, not everybody has the wherewithal to do that. And I think that's where Karrion.
Three people on the roster that I can think of that can hit that. And that's him, Kevin Owens, Cody Rhodes. Doesn't matter how many times they can take 28 finishers, one behind the other, and somehow they're back up at full strength in 10 seconds.
Yeah. I mean, like,
if you need living proof, watch the main event of Raw, Cody and Jay. Jay hit him with everything, and Cody was up and hitting Crossroads 10 seconds later.
He's got a good point, Cheryl. But, I mean, that's the difference between... Oh, my God, I got hiccups now. Between Sami and Karrion. Karrion has kind of been in the back since the little match days. But we don't mind our business on that.
With that, the dream has no memory of this. Those who remember the meme, but we're not even going to go back to those days.
That was horrible. I mean... I want them to bring back Karrion from NXT. NXT Karrion was a different piece. If that Karrion
shave his head.
Get back to that.
Get back to that
Karrion comes, I don't care how many cockroach lives Sami tries to use. It don't matter for you, big fella.
Well,
but I mean, hey, we'll see.
But also another thing to take into consideration is that Sami has been in and out of the ring, which does help in terms of staying loose. Karrion may have a little bit of ring rust on him because it's been a little bit since he's last been in an actual one-on-one wrestling match. However, Karrion and definitely Scarlett as well renowned for doing their homework, doing their research, getting in the heads of the people that they're wanting to do it. So while Sami kind of goes into this, with probably the factor in terms of, little more experience and definitely more, wrestling time in the last couple of months, Karrion is definitely going to come in fresher, and Karrion is going to come in with a battle plan. So this is going to be more mind games from Karrion, which does lead us into our picks. I've got at least the lead in terms of the three of us, the OTRAs. Again, the picks are live, so you can go in there. It's live until it goes live, until the bell rings officially on Saturday. It is scheduled to begin at 1 p.m. Eastern. They did announce the show will go on despite what's going on over in Iran right now. So, this is still going to proceed forward. I'm actually going to go with Karrion Kross. I think that all of this was a waste with having Karrion do all these mind games and everything else. If at the end of the day you're just going to have Sami beat him, then why go through all this? This would have been an unnecessary match. So I do feel like in order to build up a story, at least from the wrestling side of things, you need to have Karrion go over here. So I'm going to take Kross. I was going to say Kia's up next.
I'm not used to that. Excuse me. I'm used to it being Steve and Alyssa up first, but hey.
So usually I'm running ahead of the street sweepers, and I don't run.
Okay. Anyway, if we bring out Karrion, he's not going to have the shaved head, but you know what would mean him staying on business, honestly? If he comes out with a man bun. Seth does it, Roman does it. That means if you see that man bun straight out the gate,
anybody else catch that?
They're standing on business.
She said Roman man bun, and for just a second she went.
If you put a man bun on Karrion and send him out there and put it back to when he was in NXT, I feel like he's going to be fine. With all respect to Sami, yes, he might have been in the ring for the last couple of months, but I feel like Karrion does his research. Him and Scarlett work together. I think that's enough to give him the advantage that he needs. Again, Sami's got 9 lives like a cat or a cockroach, however you want to put it.
Definitely have the Saudi Arabian crowd behind him. He's very popular out there in Riyadh.
And y'all, if he loses, I think they might be upset. I can't say what I want to say because if I say that,
extra pyro.
Shut the.
No, not extra pyro.
And we're up to TVMA. Here comes the spray bottle.
Not extra pyro. I'm saying the other word. I'm not gonna say it, but I'm gonna go ahead.
No, you meant extra pyro.
So you're going.
That's video version.
Going with Karrion.
Yeah, I'm going with Karrion.
Alyssa.
I feel like I'd be doing a disservice to Sami if I didn't say that I feel like it'll be a lot closer than you are thinking. Like, I'm thinking this is going to be a good back and forth. I don't think by any stretch of the definition this is going to be a squash. Either way, I feel like they'll put on a good show. I feel like they'll go back and forth a lot. I mean, Sami will have the backing of the crowd. I'm fucking right behind. We don't go Sami. He's a roach. I mean, yes, I get it. It would vary. I
think that's 2 of our 3 F-bombs.
It's
And
alright.
Alyssa used them both.
It's okay.
We about to pause it, and I'm finna cuss him clean now. That's what we about to do. We about to keep playing.
So you're going to go Sami.
I'm going to go Sami because Sami, he's on this little tear, and he's like, I'm going to do it my way. And I feel like the best way to shut people up in the back is to win doing it your way. I'm already behind. Bump it. It's my heart big. Fuck. Bump it.
Burning that one early. I like it.
All I can hear is my way. We gotta hit the highway. Do you know what I'm talking about?
And now there's our copyright strike.
I'm sorry, my bad.
Stephen Dane.
Moving to match 2.
Okay, I'm sorry.
We'll let this fold up, but that's going to be our one just straight singles match, and that is going to be a Riyadh street fight. This one we know has been a long time coming, and you can hit the rivalry between these two all the way back to the NXT days. But finally, the two of them are tired of them interfering in each other's matches as Rhea Ripley and one half of the women's tag champs, Raquel Rodriguez, will go finally one-on-one. No rules, no disqualifications, fights and pinfall can count anywhere in Riyadh. Just turn them loose and let's finally see what happens.
I feel like these are two women that they're tall, they're big, they're fast, they're strong-minded, strong-bodied, strong-willed. And if you look at it closely, they both have technically the same look. One's got on darker makeup, the other one does not. That's not the point. I'm just saying I'm not going to be in a dark alley with either one of these people unless they're protecting me. That's the only way I'm getting in a dark alley.
Dark alley, no. Dark room, maybe. But that's a story for another time.
No, but they street fight, when you put street fight out there, it could go to either or. If you look at the background and the history of both these women, Rhea don't like Raquel and her business, and Raquel don't like Rhea and their business. It doesn't matter if it's got to do with her or Liv or just Judgment Day in general, and the fact that, here's my thing. Why are you still right here trying to, Judgment Day? I thought you were done. I thought Rhea was completely done. She has made.
Now they just keep pulling her back in.
I just don't like this storyline, and I'm kind of hoping it'll come to an end, like their title reigns for Liv and Raquel. No offense, they don't deserve them titles because they don't defend them like they should.
Well,
but that's another time.
They're not going to be. Liv won't be defending anything for a while. She's out the rest of the year.
That's another time. That's another whole episode. I'm just looking at these are two females who are fierce. And if you put them in a street fight, honestly, I think they're going to go blow for blow. Bad pick of words. I think they're going to go rip for rip, tear for tear. What? They're just going to tear the house down. I mean, that's all I'm going to say because I can't say nothing without it sounding really bad.
Yeah, we're trying our best. You can, again, we're not dropping these on purpose. We're trying to be politically correct, but at the same time, I mean, unless you've been living under a rock, you know what all's going on over there. And to be honest, I mean, I think all three of us are in agreement. We're not a fan of, this event going on under the circumstances.
Yeah,
but
feel like
we're contractually in place to do a show if it goes on. They made the decision today, so our show goes on too. But we definitely do not agree that this should not be happening in Riyadh right now.
We don't get paid to make those decisions. So.
But if whoever is going to pay us to make those decisions is willing to contact us, we'll definitely take that phone call.
Yeah.
But either way, Alyssa, your thoughts on this one?
Honestly, I think this is really just going to be the generic answer. I'm excited for the match. They're going to beat each other's snot out. I'm excited to see what they're going to wear. That is one of my favorite aspects about stuff that's in Saudi is seeing the outfit change up. Because,
women
I just feel like they're all going to be, they are going to come out like Kill Bill.
Oh,
black leather
the black leather all the way from one end to the other.
One end to the other.
Purple, black on, whatever.
Yeah. So, I mean, both of them can hold their own in the ring. And I feel like we've kind of had, I don't want to say a backslide for Raquel, but like right now I don't want to say it's playing like a back role, but like NXT Raquel would get out there and slap you in your mouth. Mm-hmm. And
she's clearly
would
here
also
to
give
be,
you a body Dakota in the back.
She's clearly here to be Liv's muscle,
Yeah, and I mean I get it, I guess, but I mean, I'd rather see her out here dominating like Rhea Ripley.
But also,
I mean, that doesn't go away just because her ability to fight does not go away just because she's playing, was playing bodyguard to Liv. So.
And that's one thing. I mean, this is how you immediately put Raquel right back in that discussion again, is have her beat Rhea Ripley in a street fight.
Yep.
And Raquel is right back up there in the conversation of the baddest and toughest women in the game. She's already, even with her status, I think easily ranks, top 3, top 4 in terms of overall strength, but, because you're comparing her at that point to the Rhea Ripleys, the Nia Jaxes, the Bianca Belairs, Jade Cargill, absolutely. So this is definitely something to where she, where they talk about, one person's loss is another person's opportunity. This, with Liv's injury, she's been the one that's kind of been at the forefront of the Judgment Day, at least the female side of the storyline. With Liv now being completely out of the picture for seemingly the rest of the year, this is potentially Raquel's opportunity to be able to take that next step on the main roster. So what might be a backslide for Liv might end up being the best thing that's happened to Raquel since she came up to the main roster. So we'll see.
With all
You
respect,
saw it with Jimmy and Jay.
With all respect, I'm kind of glad you took the words right out of my mouth, because if you didn't, I would have said the same thing, just more aggressively. No offense, I like Liv outside of Judgment Day, like the character outside of the story. But
Sweet as gold in person.
She's sweet as a peach. But the Liv inside the story, this is the best thing, honestly, like you said, for Raquel, to show her dominance, to show how fierce she is. I mean, you see it on her face, you see it in her outfit. I don't like, and what I don't like is people having to play bodyguard. Nia had to play it at some point. They did it for Raquel. The big women, like the women that, deserve to go ahead and step on your neck and break your body and just throw you around, don't need to play bodyguard to nobody. I don't care who you are. I just don't. So
segue that into your pick, because you're up first on this one.
That doesn't change my purview. I'm picking Rhea.
Rhea.
I got the shirt on, so I mean it makes sense.
I suppose.
She ain't gonna be watching the show. Hey, you wearing my shirt, but you picked for the other person? Mm-hmm. You ain't stepping on my neck today.
Psych.
No.
Alyssa.
Now I just want to clarify: street fights are
anything happens.
Nope, basically anything goes. Pin counts anywhere.
Interference doesn't matter.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
The only way to end the match is pinfall or submission. Anything else goes.
I'm picking Raquel. I'm gonna go Raquel because right now you got to think Roxanne's trying to get in good with Judgment Day, trying to find a little buddy, and Rhea. Technically, like, who would come out and interfere for her?
She wouldn't want anyone to come out and interfere for her.
I don't think Raquel has anything with getting dirty. I mean, Judgment Day has win at all costs. They don't. I don't want to say they don't have morals, but
girl, they don't. Let's go ahead and just be honest. Okay, she won't say
they don't have morals.
They
are. I'm gonna win at all costs.
Right.
Especially, and they always take advantage with the numbers. And I respect it to a degree, but
it's cheating for the rest of it.
And I mean, I'm gonna end up taking Raquel for point for point the same reason.
Literally.
The numbers game has always favored Judgment Day. You could see Dominic's clearly in a rut. Also, his injury keeping him out of Saudi, so therefore he's not going to be able to. In theory, he shouldn't be at the event due to his injury. So you would think Raquel is, also sitting here with the possible, relinquishment of the tag titles without having to drop them, which would actually be the second time that's happened to her, because it happened once when she was champion with Dakota too back in NXT. So. She doesn't want to see that and already knows the pain of losing a championship without actually having drop it. So I really do feel like this is going to be where it's going to end up being the real first big storyline for Roxanne Perez, other than just, hey, here's a tournament you can be in. Hey, look, she did well, but she didn't quite win it. Right. But she looked good while she does it. Well, now you're actually going to give her an opportunity to be able to storyline it. I think it answers the questions when it comes to the women's tag titles. I think Roxanne just takes Liv's place, very similar to what they did with Naomi and Jade Cargill last year. So, now no one hopefully got thrown through a car door. We obviously know how car window. We know how Liv got hurt. And by the way, anybody who's online, shame on you for anybody who went on there and spoke bad on Kyrie for that. I mean, every one of us watched that live. There was no ill will there. If anybody's been giving crap, please unfollow us. We don't need it. We don't need that kind of negativity out here. But I'm going to take Raquel for the reasoning that I think that at the end, Roxanne will end up being the difference maker in all of this.
Now, do you think Roxanne will be the difference maker in a positive light? Because her and Van got something going on the side. You know how that...
We don't mind their business.
Oh, no, I'm minding their business because, I'm nosy. I will rubberneck out my car like I will rubberneck out anything else.
Almighty.
Yeah.
Speaking of DMV records.
Where's the spray bottle?
Moving on, before they spray me in this segment, let's move to our third match on the card. Sibling rivalry finally reaching ahead, as it will be our one mid-card match for the United States Championship, as brother will face off against brother, as Jacob Fatu, all gas, no brakes, get in where you fit in, will battle the former leader of the Samoan dynasty, the former tribal chief, and man, that Jacob Fatu no longer loves in that of Solo Sikoa.
Let's not
You
forget
can go on and rewind that, and you can take that little bit of Tribal Chief right on out of
Right
there.
on
We can
over.
go on and stitch that out.
and you know
Unofficial.
what- and you know what you put in there? Don't put Tribal Chief. Put the Weekend lookalike.
The
Good
wannabe Tribal
Lord.
Chief.
When he's wearing that red outfit.
The Weekend lookalike. Take the Tribal Chief out. Put that in there.
This has been one though that's been bubbling up really since Jacob entered the scene, as well as when Solo lost back the Ulafala to Roman in January. You've seen that slowly people have started falling off of Solo, falling off of his name. Jacob has been the one person that has been able to stay consistently by his side, but also Jacob, without asking permission or for care or whatnot of Solo, has gone off and done his own thing, and it has brought him championship gold by winning the United States Championship, him winning a singles title in WWE before Solo did, despite Solo having almost 3 years ahead of him. Solo currently having only held a single championship, and he held it for only 6 days.
In the next two.
Yeah. So, now finally seeing Jacob, I guess, putting the dots together and realizing, look, I mean, without me, you're nothing. So if this championship is why all of a sudden you feel like you need to be mad all the time, why you need to be steaming at me and everything else, fine. I'll put it on the line. Let's go. And, and I'll put you back in your place. You'll get in where you fit in. And then we'll move on after that. Either together or separate. But
my thing with that is, and I sat here and when I was looking at, we were looking at it and Solo was talking crap. He was talking crap to the other person because his name is not relevant in my head. That's not the point.
You talking about that man?
Yeah, that dude. You know who I'm talking about. When he was sitting here and saying, out of everybody, Solo is the one, Jacob is the one that, follows me, this, that, he's not smart, he can't think for himself, this, that, the third. That for me right there would have been like, oh, is this how we want to? You want to talk behind my back? If I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna talk in your face. Solo is Jacob is the one that if he gonna talk about you, he gonna do it in your face. He gonna do it through a fire promo in your face, one-on-one. He ain't gonna have no shame in it, and he gonna make sure he burns you like he burns everybody else. The fact that you had that much gall to sit here and dog him, and he's your family, he's your brother, should say, if you dog him like that, you'll dog anybody like that. So I'm not mad at Jacob going off and winning the United States Championship and doing what he got to do. Solo, if you've been here longer, you should have had a couple of titles by now. It doesn't matter what title, you should have had them. But you can't sit here and be mad because, your little brother got what he got and you don't. You need to support him like you've done everybody else in your family and keep it pushing and kind of steam away from the anger.
Little brother, I think Jacob's older.
It doesn't matter. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all know my facts aren't straight. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Don't play with me.
I will say, I like and appreciate the fact that that Jacob kept it classy.
Mm-hmm.
He said, "Oh, you talking mess?" Okay, he let it go. They get to Money in the Bank, and he helps him. I love it. He helped him lay everybody out. He helped set the scene. That man even helped him get the ladder in place.
Right.
And he said, "Go on up." Go on. And then as soon as that little leg got up there, he told some boop. And he told some.
Come on back down
I
here.
hate you.
Ooh.
I like that.
It wasn't
Not
I love
hate, but I like that you handled your business in the ring. Cost that man his opportunity. You want to sit here and play behind my back? I'll play in your face.
Right.
Don't play.
Right.
How
you gonna be
but
mad
yeah.
at that?
But yes, Solo has been here longer. Yes, he has not had the main title or the main card title yet, but I feel like he's played his part where he's needed to be.
Mm-hmm.
And I like that they branched out for Jacob because you could see, I don't want to say they aren't on the same level, but Jacob carries something different about himself. And it's very apparent. Like, maybe I'm just tripping. I feel like he glowing in this picture. We're going to mind our business. He just has a different aura about him.
Mm-hmm.
That ain't Trevor T aura.
And it's one of the and an aura is something you can't teach.
Right, you can't.
Either you have it or you don't have it,
right.
Or you develop it, but only you can develop your own aura. No one can give it to you. No one can teach it to you. No one can buy it for you.
I feel
Either
like
you
Jacob,
have it or you don't. Jacob absolutely has it.
Came in with it. That man is funny on the mic. That man is funny on his way to the ring, and he can hold his own. I can't tell y'all how many times we have been watching a match that Jacob Fatu is in, and we're like, there is no reason that man should have got up them rings and flying. A man that size should not be able to
do the things that Jacob Fatu does.
Like, that man is just built different, and you can tell. Solo, I'm glad they're giving him a personality now. That man is hilarious.
Oh, yeah.
But, I mean, Jacob is just different. And that's not a slight at Solo. He's just different.
I think we all know why.
It's just two very different coins in terms of that. Each have their own personality, and each have been given their own thing. They're not just, the henchmen that have been, Solo's job when he was the enforcer was literally to be the big brute muscle. Don't talk, just hit.
Right.
And then Jacob, for the time that he was working with Solo, same story. But now each of them have been able to branch off.
And develop their own.
And once again, very similar to what we talked about with Liv's injury with Raquel, the injuries to Tama Tonga and Tongaloa have in turn kind of allowed both of them to take on a personality of their own. You've had to call up JC Mateo a little sooner than maybe you would have liked because of the fact that you needed somebody to be able to go in there, and anybody else from the Samoan line isn't quite ready to be there yet.
From the Samoan bloodline.
And that's exactly it. I mean, look, the Roman can only pump them out so fast. So, I mean, they gotta build up. They don't work on celebrity time, at least not yet. But either way, get that mental image for a few minutes. But either way, I do like where this is going. I just think the one thing before. Did you catch it? Yes, I caught it. Before, Alyssa, you start the picks off here, is I do think they have to be cautious with how they choose to end this, because right now both of them are getting the appropriate level of push that I think is needed to keep them up in that popular tier on SmackDown. If you burn the loser of this match a little bit too much, they could absolutely skid back into not just mid-card, but possibly back into,
obscurity.
Low card, or as they call them in the business, curtain jerkers. And with all due respect, both have too much talent and too much, on where they come from and what they've put in up to the stage for either of them to not be regularly on here. So I'm hoping that this is going to be the first of a couple of runs with this one. But also, they made it very clear, like, look, if it's just about the title, fine, let's fight for the title, and then let's get past this. So I don't think Jacob has necessarily said, like, look, we're through whether you win or not. I just think it's very similar to, take two dudes and put a bad bitch between them, and watch them duke it out. I think that's kind of where you're sitting at with this one. So, Alyssa, you're up first on this one. Where do you got this one? This is for the U.S. title, so Solo winning has to be direct, so Jacob would have to take a pinfall loss or a submission loss in order to lose the title.
Yeah, I'll be real with you. Solo can hold his own. Solo wasn't the enforcer for no reason. Solo has met his matcher. Jacob is about to fly off that top rope and about to just go on and put that man down for a minute. Okay? He got that thumb taped up. That's great. Jacob got his arms taped up. Okay? He is about to fly off that mug. He about to hit two little turns. Like that, and then he's going to win. I'm sorry.
Look like me dancing in the club.
I'm taking Jacob. Yeah.
Jacob.
Mm-hmm.
I will say for the record, when I initially saw this, I thought I'd go Solo because I thought you would have the opportunity to be able to finally give it, and yet the more I have watched this story kind of build itself up and everything else, Jacob Fatu is fire right now. He is absolutely one of the most popular folks on SmackDown. When he loses the championship, and we see it all the time, especially in NXT, where there are certain people that when they finally lose, it's because they're getting pushed to the next step. Gunther, when he lost the Intercontinental title, we all knew what that loss was for. It was to become King of the Ring and win the world title.
Oba.
Oba, the moment he lost the North American, it was so he could become NXT champion.
Yeah.
There were some folks that you just You know what it is. Jacob Fatu is that kind of guy. If he loses this, it's going to be because they're getting ready to push him into the world title picture, and because you've got SummerSlam being the next big one, not disregarding the events coming to Atlanta here in a couple of weeks, you're still too far out for that to be your push at the moment. So I'm going to go against my gut on this one, and I'm actually going to go with Jacob as well. I just think it's going to happen to Jacob losing, but then it's going to be the push to move towards the WWE title. Yeah?
You done?
No.
Okay. You wouldn't even have. It doesn't matter who's on the other side. It don't matter if it's solo. It don't matter who's on the other side. It's Jacob all day. All
Even
day.
Roman?
Huh?
Even Roman? Even Cody?
I didn't say Roman. Don't put words in my mouth.
And I quote, it doesn't matter.
Oh, no.
It absolutely matters.
No, there are echelons. You know,
Yeah.
echelons.
There are tiers.
There are levels to this.
Roman, Seth, Cody.
Read the shirt.
With all respect, it can be anybody on the lower tier going up against him. It can be anybody on the medium tier going against Jacob. I didn't say all the uppers, like the uppers. You know what I mean? I didn't say none of that.
Pump your brakes.
Thank you.
Jacob.
All gas. You better put on the brakes.
Somebody gotta.
Jacob, all day, every day.
Alrighty. Halfway home. Let's move it. Our next two matches are the respective tournament final for each of the respective tournaments. We are going to start with the Queen of the Ring final, which will be between two of our resident stars on Friday Night SmackDown. So the winner of this one will challenge, at least at the moment, Tiffany Stratton for the WWE Women's Championship over on the Blue brand at SummerSlam, provided that Tiffany makes it that far. You know, you've got Naomi waiting in the wings with Money in the Bank, and Nia Jax also waiting for her last woman standing match this upcoming Friday, also in Riyadh. So a lot of things could change between now and then. But it is the resident Black Goddess in Jade Cargill battling the returning Empress of Tomorrow, Asuka, for the Queen of the Ring title. Now, both of these competitors have competed in the tournament before, as Jade was an early round knockout last year. Asuka has made it to the semis before, but this is her first time being able to cross that threshold into the finals. And now you get an opportunity in front of the Saudi crowd to have not just two very strong, very powerful women, but also two women of minority in an area where, let's call it what it is. White women have mainly, ruled the roost in this particular type of event. And yet it's going to be an opportunity for one of these two to get that strong push in front of the crowd in Riyadh. I think it goes without saying Jade holds the strength advantage here. Asuka most definitely holds the speed and the flying advantage.
Yeah,
also, how much rust does Asuka have? It will only be her third match back, and Jade still with her relative inexperience, still only sitting at about 85 total matches in her career. That's a slow month for Asuka sometimes. So, curious to see how it's going to pan out, but the winner, Queen of the Ring, and a shot at the WWE Women's Championship at SummerSlam. So, ladies, take it away.
I can start this one. From a storyline perspective, it makes sense for Jade to win. Jade has the beef with Naomi. Naomi's holding the briefcase for Money in the Bank. Boom, she's already told Tiffy, when it's time, I'm coming for you. And she's like, okay, when it's time, I'm going to cash in on you. I can easily see their beef going. Like, that's fine, I cashed in, now I'm champ. Oh, yeah, by the way, hey, I'm here. Time to get that lick back for putting me through that window.
Right.
Big fella. Yeah, come on. So, from a storyline perspective, it makes sense for Jade to win. That being said, Asuka is a beast. Asuka, I don't care that girl still got that brace on her knee. That girl is going to come in here. She is going to whoop your behind before you even see her. And then she's going to spit on you. Like, don't play with her. Like, there are very few people that I would see go up against somebody like Jade Cargill or like a Bianca, and I'm like,
Got it.
I don't know. I don't know.
But Asuka?
Asuka? At first, I didn't understand Asuka until I actually started watching y'all. I was like, what is that little lady gonna do? And then I started watching.
She said, "Little."
Asuka don't play no games.
She said,
Asuka said the cutest thing about her gonna be her makeup when she come out, okay? And then after that, she gonna put your behind on that mat, okay? And then she gonna take you to town, all right? That's that. So we're in for a treat, no matter which way it goes.
Mm-hmm.
With all respect, I mean, Alyssa hit point for point, you know, what I was going to say or would have said or even would have thought. No, you're good. I feel like Jade is still harboring resentment against Naomi. I feel like Naomi says she don't give 2 licks or splits of how you feel. I'm going to make you proceed with caution. Proceed with caution. If you get to the point you win this whole thing and you get down with the get down and whatever, then I'm waiting on the other side. So just go ahead and believe that. But now, give us a moment. But now, Asuka is back. And before, like, Asuka can leave, get hurt, come back, boom. She
Right back where she left off.
She comes back, I don't see no ring rust, I don't see no microphone skills going, I don't see no type of decline. It's like, she be doing her thing while she's away from the camera. So with all respect, you know, and it gets to the point, and like you said it, and me and Alyssa had the conversation, you know, if Asuka lose, yeah, you're going to see me cry for real. I mean, I should, as a woman of minority, be behind Jade Cargill, but she still, for me, has a lot to prove, even though she's come so far. Asuka, on the other hand, she might look short, she might look small, her attitude and the way she presents herself is
6'8".
Right.
Okay.
It is big and it is tall, and she gonna be in your face with a powerful spit.
So about Asuka and spit tonight? What
Because she missed.
I missed, exactly. Not
I'm
spit.
sorry, my bad. You know what?
I mean, if spit come out the mouth, it's spit.
It's spit to me.
Disrespect is disrespect.
To every
okay?
black person, you spit. That's spit. That's not miss. I don't care what you say. As
I
Jade
done
said,
seen some chunks in there. I done seen some whole beads. All right.
Right. So with all respect, spit, missed, whatever. She gonna come with it. I just want to know what color is it gonna be this go around when it hits your face. Because and is it going to burn to where you can't see, to where it's gonna blind you enough for her to get she don't have a game plan. Let's not play with Asuka, okay?
Because no one's ready for her.
No one is
That's
ready
what
for
they
them
claim.
until tomorrow, including the Storm. I'm sorry.
Well, I mean, and that brings us to the picks. I mean, it just, you know, it's a very simple contrast. You know, can Jade Cargill, despite being vastly less experienced than Asuka, you know, have, you know, the opportunity to be able to just outclass Asuka by just using straight brute strength? You know, because that is the one thing that Jade Cargill carries, and whenever you've seen her run into trouble, it typically is against someone who can match her power, such as a Rhea Ripley or a Nia Jax.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Asuka is not going to be able to match up with Jade's speed. The problem is exactly just that. Can Jade keep up with her? Because we know Asuka can go for days. You know, she is not going to run out of energy. She is not going to run out of gas.
Right.
You know, so Asuka simply can just play the experience advantage here, and it does give her that opportunity to be able to go. However, you do see the confidence building with every win in Jade Cargill, and the reality is she has done all of this by herself. No Bianca, no Naomi. Because of the beef between the two of them, Jade has been the one that has finally been like, look, I don't trust either one of y'all. I don't want anything to do with either of y'all. And, you know, an opportunity for Jade to really take that first big step in, you know, and it doesn't necessarily mean she's going to win the championship at SummerSlam, but it's definitely the draw that she would be looking for. And I think Asuka has had enough accolades over her career that I don't think this is one that necessarily she has to have in order to put the final piece together. Therefore, I'm going to call the upset here, and I'm going to take Jade Cargill to go over Asuka to win Queen of the Ring.
Surprise, y'all.
Kiss my ass. There's the third cuss. I at least get the third one.
That's the fourth, honestly.
All right. Either way, your pick.
So if you picking Jade, I'm gonna go exact opposite, and I'm gonna pick Asuka. Like I said, she returns better than ever, and I feel like this is no different. I feel like she's gonna go in with a game plan, and boom, she gonna Asuka.
And don't get me wrong, I'm not against it if Asuka wins. This isn't one of those where it's like, oh my God, you're doing such a disservice if you have Asuka win the tournament. No, Asuka absolutely is deserving of it as anything else, and that's the one thing I'll say about King and Queen of the Ring is the two people who make it to the finals are always deserving of being there. You know, and it's never more apparent than in this match with the way that these two women have competed over the last couple of years, despite Asuka's injuries. And, of course, it's very apparent in the men's match, which we'll be discussing next. But first, before we get there, Alyssa, your pick.
You know, I like both of them, but I've got to go with Jade here. She makes the most sense storyline-wise. Asuka's just coming back from injury. Like, I don't know. I just have a gut feeling here. I want to go Asuka because that girl whoops everybody, but it makes more sense.
I feel like
with Jade.
That's great. I see where y'all are coming from.
Yeah.
But
and
also,
again, if Asuka wins, I'm gonna be over here.
That's an L.
I don't want to say I'm gonna do the pencil walk with her, but
right.
But like I'll be just happy. I'm gonna be happy either way. But
my thing with that is it makes perfect sense. I get where y'all are coming from all day. He's waiting for you to do the same thing.
Oh, I'm sorry.
There we go.
But my thing with that...
No, I wasn't frozen. My side of the camera wasn't frozen.
My thing with that, and before Asuka left, her and Naomi were on good terms, so I feel like even if she had that transformation, she had that flip over to proceed with caution, I feel like she's going to... I don't know, something just tells me Naomi's going to play a big role in this match, but, maybe... And
that's kind of the key thing, is does Naomi cost Jade the Queen of the Ring... or is it a situation where she lets Jade win so she can screw her over at SummerSlam instead, whether that be by letting Jade win the title, then cashing in on her, or stopping her from winning it, and then she cashes in on a tired Tiffany.
This
again, it could go either way, because at this point,
if
Naomi was to stop Jade from winning this, it's just out of petty at this point. You've already got Money in the Bank. You've already got it, but it'd be just... I'm doing it because I don't want to see you be successful.
But have you seen this? Have you seen Proceed with Caution, Naomi, Trinity?
She's on something else.
Have you seen her Twitter, Instagram? She is
hilarious.
She is down to being petty.
They've got to take her social media away from her.
She
is getting wild.
You know how Alyssa be saying take my emojis and stuff away? We need to take hers away from her too.
Child, she is something else.
Okay, well, bringing Big Jim into it and everything else. That should be enough.
Everybody, get off my back. Big Jim, get on.
Ooh.
If you don't, I will. But either way, speaking of things you jump on, let's move to the King of the Ring final. Whenever the thing wants to transition.
Look, it knows better.
But there you go. That can be y'all's delicious more eye candy. All right, we've already used all our cursing for this one. They're gonna start.
Guess what? We can use it for the next one. It'll be for the next video, okay?
Good gracious.
Because why would y'all even? Why? I feel like wrestlers hate me at this present moment because you think about it like this: it was Cody and Jade, and that was that. That was great.
You had Randy and Sami on the other side,
And then now it's not Randy and Jay. It's not Yeet American Nightmare or Nightmare. It's now American Nightmare, the Viper. Two halves of, Legacy?
Two of the three pieces. The last one's trying to avoid jail right now, but, that's another story for another time.
We don't do no dirt sheets. We'll wait and turn the camera off.
Please.
Why? The two people that are supposed to be invited to the cookout...
I'll say I'm not allowed to write up the invitation, so if they say they're invited, then I guess they're invited. But Randy Orton made it to the finals last year, came up just a little short against Gunther, who ended up, of course, becoming world champion at SummerSlam a couple of weeks later. Cody, has won just about every accolade there is to win in WWE, most of them since his return. But the one thing he's been vying for, not just a title that his father once held proudly, but also at the same time, an opportunity to earn the rematch against John Cena that he has been waiting for, provided that Cena can get to SummerSlam still with the title. We'll be talking about him here in just a minute in the next match. But, you bring up the fact that Randy's who brought him in and made him into the star that he inevitably would start to become through legacy. And now the thing comes full circle. Student now squares off against the master, the sensei, and we're going to see just how far Cody's come, because this is the one name that Cody has, always been compared up against, is that of Randy Orton. They're both multi-generational superstars, both come from a rich heritage of wrestling families. Wrestling has more than one royal family. They're not just referring to Triple H. They're referring to people like the Orton family, where Randy is a third generation and says he's going to wrestle until he can't walk anymore, going out Ric Flair style. But it's definitely curious to see which way they're going to go. Randy, as we said here for the second year in a row, are they going to have him come up, one round short for the second year in a row? And also, it's not like there's 0-1 that makes a little more sense than the other, because the winner of this one right now, provided the title stays where it is, would take on John Cena. Both of them obviously have already had matches against John Cena and lost, granted by underhanded tactics, but that's neither here nor there. But we all know Orton Cena or Rhodes Cena will easily put butts in seats at MetLife for night 2.
So, with all respect, seeing what I'm seeing right now, it's all good and great, but you have teacher and you have student. And Randy already has said he has called his shot. He did it way back after Cody won the title, and he cheered with him, he rah-rah, he whoop-whoop, he was there for him, he said he was proud of him, but he also said a while back, I'm coming for your spot. I'm coming for your title. I'm coming for whatever you're trying to get to, and I'm going to take it from you. He didn't say it like that. He didn't say it as aggressively as he would have if he was prime back in the day, Randy Orton. But he said,
Orton says a lot of different things.
Yeah. Right. He has been nice. He has been, for someone who has matured and has evolved over time, Randy is still the Randy of old, somewhere where he hears those voices. You're going up against one person that you taught everything to. You literally grilled him. You ran him through the fire. When he did something stupid, you said it out loud. There was no hiding. Cody and Ted could not hide from anything that Randy was teaching them, or how he was dogging them out there in front of everybody. So you put brass knucks to the mat or to the face. I feel like, let's see what Cody really has learned all over the last couple of decades, the last couple of years from Randy. Let's see if Randy has taught him what he needs to know to go up against teacher and call it what it is. Now, on the flip side, I swear to God, if Randy wins, when or how, I don't care. If him and Cena get into that ring, I don't know who I'm picking, because I love them both. It's all good and great.
We did this once already.
It's all good and great. With all respect, nothing against Cody. Please, if you're watching, do not harbor no ill will. I would honestly prefer it not be Cody. And I've been riding the Cody train for the last several years now, since he's been back. But it's going to be what it's going to be. Who is Cena going to want to see on the other side? Is it going to be Randy, or is it going to be Cody?
This is, of course, provided that Cena makes it that far. He's still got CM Punk in his line. Ron Killings is still lurking around. And you still got Seth Rollins holding Money in the Bank. So Cena's got a long way to go in order to get there. Alyssa, please take the wheel. I know you've been waiting patiently.
Sure. In the Queen of the Ring tournament, you can make choice based on storyline. In this one, we've seen both. They both lost. Yes, underhanded tactics. And I think even then it'll still be underhanded tactics. But, on one hand, you have Randy. He whooped everybody's behind last year in the tournament. He came up short, falling victim to Gunther in one of the best matches of the year. My God, that was great.
It was fantastic.
But, I don't know why I'm trying to talk myself out of this. I know where I want to go. But then you have, on the other hand, you have one of the three cockroaches. You have the man who, I don't care, you can throw that man every which way but loose, and he's still going to get up. And his little rev up and poof back into Cody Rhodes. I mean, like, I don't know. Like, with this one, it's head versus heart. Because you have one where it's like, okay, that's Randy Orton. It's Randy Orton, like, living legend killer, like, Viper.
Pure voices.
But then you have the American Nightmare, who does this joke for his dad. Who, like,
see,
I don't know.
That's a story you can get behind both stories.
You can get behind both. You can see the rematch for Cody with Cena. You could see Randy and Cena again. It's gonna be a great match.
And the other thing to
Rah-rah.
consider is there any possible puncher's chance, especially if this ends up being, let's say, Cena, pulls the power and, ends up, choosing to open the show and this ends up being the main event. Is there any chance that Cena plays a role in how this ends? So I mean, you don't know what's going to happen because you need a definitive winner. And this is one of those where the winner doesn't need the King of the Ring accolade. They don't need it. Both of these guys are first ballot headline Hall of Famers the moment they hang up their boots. Orton's going to headline his. Cody likely is very well. If he's not already there, he's damn close in terms of headlining his own. So it comes down to just, as a fan, just sit back and enjoy this one. Because this has match of the year candidate written all over it. And I know that's high expectations to put on any match, but just the star power of both of them alone gives off the vibe of something very similar to what they did last year with Gunther and with Randy Orton, where they put on a clinic. And now it'll be curious to see if that ends up working out the same way. Now, that being said, if Orton's going to lose, let's make sure his shoulders are actually down for 3 seconds this time.
Right.
Don't do that again.
Not the fact that we all remembered that, but go on.
Well, something's got to go. Kia, you're up first for this one. So, American Nightmare, Viper, past, present, yet again. They keep crashing into each other. But King of the Ring and title match, likely the Night 2 main event.
My question, before I even give you my answer, I know Randy's hearing voices. Do you think Cody hears voices of all his characters in his head when he be cockroaching? I feel like he does.
I think he hears.
Right.
I think deep down, he hears one voice, and that is that of the final boss. I think maybe all of a sudden, because think about it, it's been a pain in his ass ever since he turned down The Rock's opportunity. Mm-hmm. And so one has to wonder if maybe the voices he's starting to hear maybe is one of regret, but a chance to, very similar to Sami, I'm going to do it my way. I want to do it the right way. But if he can't get it done here, then basically you've lost your last opportunity to be able to get that rematch. And as no pun intended, but time's almost up for Cena, and if you want that rematch with Cena before he runs off with the title that you tried to make prestigious and Randy held 14 times himself, you got to find a way to get it done. But who you going with, Kia?
So with all respect, I am going with Randy. Because if he got this close last year, there is no damn way in hell that he shouldn't win it this year. Nothing against Cody. I love you. It's good and great. But it's got to happen this year, with all respect. If he was this close, he needs to go.
Just can't picture him losing 2 years.
I cannot. I'm sorry. You got cockroach Cody Rhodes on the other side. It don't matter. But let's put it like this. Alyssa hand. Cockroach. Die.
Flush.
Down the toilet. Wet grave. Goodbye. I love you. But go ahead. Go off. Alyssa, sorry. My bad.
Just make sure you come back in one piece so you can still do yoga in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, that's right.
You see, I see that in Randy, I do. But he already had his shot at Cena. In his timeline. I feel like storyline Cody makes more sense here. Because it's like, okay, Cody, the time Cody was with Cena was WrestleMania. He lost the title. He gets his rematch here. I'm not saying he's going to beat Cena. I'm just saying I think that makes more sense in his rivalry. I don't know. It makes sense in my brain, and I have to go with what my brain is saying. I love Randy, I do, but I think like Randy doesn't need it. Neither one of them need it, and that's the part that's irritated me. Neither one of them need it, but I feel like Cody makes more sense in my brain, so I'm gonna go Cody. That man.
Every time you've ever picked against Cody, you've been burned. I have too, so.
Hope y'all can see that. Took the glasses off for that. My God. So yeah, we're gonna go Cody.
But with all respect, who does the fan? I mean, you want to see Cena and Cody. And
I want to see whoever is gonna lead me back to the Tribal Chief.
Go ahead, Randy. Go for it. I said what I said. Sorry,
I see
Cody.
Cody.
Okay.
Cody, instant beef. Boom. There it is.
Instant issue.
Instant roach.
So I'm gonna. Insta roach. Flush.
She loves you though. For real.
So I'm gonna steal a line from my younger brother here. Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton. Who you picking? Seth Rollins.
No, for real.
Swear.
For real.
We will go Seth Rollins or whoever's holding the contract at the time.
Right.
It's one of the. It really does feel like it's one of the worst kept secrets, in all of professional wrestling right now. The end game of all of this, it really doesn't matter who's going to do it. It doesn't matter if Cody wins, then beats Cena to, finish storybook number 2, or if it's Randy getting that elusive number 15, or if it's Cena continuing to find his way through all the obstacles and everything else. We all basically know the end game, and that's going to be eventually Seth Rollins is going to be the one to end up with the championship. So, it's just a matter of who is going to be the one who gets to run the interesting storyline. Here is why I am going to go with Randy Orton in this match. First of all, I do agree with what Kia said that I don't think it does well for him to lose 2 years in a row on this stage. I think at some point you do need to have him go over, but also I think that if you now have 6 weeks between now and SummerSlam, especially with the events in Atlanta coming up, which would be Cody's hometown and everything else, you've got the opportunity to start seeing that anguish and that regret and that moment where Cody's realizing, okay, I'm losing out on my opportunity to get my title back. Maybe I didn't make the right choice. And now he starts contemplating, should I have taken The Rock up on his offer? Should I become his champion? And he alluded to it in his promo this last week on SmackDown, is that he talked about The Rock's offer, but didn't exactly portray it as if it's completely off the table. It made it seem more like The Rock is like, okay, Cena took me up on it because you wouldn't, but when you're ready to see the light and come be my champion, maybe there's an opportunity. So this could be the start of that heel turn for Cody that everybody has been clamoring for the last 3 years, because I do think that face story, especially with his dreadful title run, in terms of entertainment value, I think has run its course. I also think getting Orton and Cena one more time on that big neutral stage, I think is needed for nothing more than just historical purposes. I think they need one more round. So I'm going to go Randy Orton to take King of the Ring and to inevitably face likely John Cena at SummerSlam.
Now, with all respect, if that's the case, and I'm going to ask you a question, Alyssa, if you want to jump in on this too, you can, because I know you do your research. If that's the case, and Randy wins, and he gets to Cena, and we see Cody go back to, what is it, Phantom of the Opera, hiding behind the mask, broken nose, Lord. Angry Cody. Is that what we're pulling for, or are we pulling for something more sinister, more dark? Because when I want sinister, I want crazy.
TVMA Cody on AEW as TNT champion,
right.
cussing every other word.
Yep. Is that okay?
That's the Cody I'm looking for. I need that to
okay.
find its way over here to WWE.
Because, with all respect, and you're right, he has been the one, as Alyssa said, shaking hands, kissing babies, coming out in nice little suits every week on the mic, this at the third. I feel like he's taking little pot shots at Cena.
Well, but Melissa has also said herself, every man looks good in a suit, but especially in a black suit. Now, right. Cody coming out in a black suit, he could dye his hair back black again, where all of a sudden you get that dark run again. You know?
I'm all for that. Don't bring back the beard and the mustache. We're going to say no to that.
Yeah.
The porn stash can go.
Good Lord. Yeah, the stash of 05, I think, or 08 doesn't cut it.
Okay.
Let's move to the main event. And speaking of John Cena, we're going to go ahead and have a chance to chat it up as what we do believe will be the main event. It just as easily could be the King of the Ring final, but we're going to go with the Undisputed WWE Championship match. This one, the great promo, which is going to be up there for our promo of the year, despite the fact that it wasn't actually in the ring, but the yin and yang promo done by Corey Graves to compare these two and the career that they've had, just I believe symbolizes this perfectly. And now an opportunity for CM Punk and John Cena one more time, this time again for the WWE Championship. You saw how things were back in 2010, 2011, 2012, where the title basically corrupted and broke down CM Punk, obsessed with getting it, then became even more obsessed with keeping it. And now you're seeing John Cena determined to take the championship that he won and take it with him as he goes into retirement at the end of this year, a year that now is halfway over. So, we're already 6 months into the Cena retirement tour, so value these times while you can, whether you root for Cena or not. Value these moments because he's running out of dates. He's under, I think, 20 now.
Oh my
So
God,
it's
don't
definitely
say that.
getting close. But now you see the roles flip from 13 years ago, and now John Cena is the lost champion who is trying to, fight through the anger and fight through the hatred of the fans that once, relished him. And CM Punk it's never good when he's the voice of reason, but he's the one now clamoring for, you need to do the right thing. This title has corrupted you. Now you need to, I'm going to do the best thing I've ever done for you in your career, and that is I'm going to take the pressure of being champion off you yet again, as I did 13 years ago, and I'll save your wrestling career in the process.
I like the fact that Punk, and this has just been him through and through from the moment, Cena took him under his wing for a few times or whatever. It's just been who Punk is. I'm going to tell you directly to your face. I'm not going to hide nothing. I'm not going to pull no punches. I'm not going to say nothing behind your back. I don't have no ill will, no intent, no malice, no nothing. I'm just going to come out and say it. And he said it. He said he's done it to Cody. Everyone's going to stab you in your back. I'm going to punch you in your front.
I'll stab you in the front.
And again, Punk is the one, pipe bombs, it's going to be what it's going to be. He's going to tell you.
Speaking of promo of the year.
Him and Jacob are the people that going to tell you to your face. They don't got nothing to say behind your back. They ain't scared of you. They ain't scary. They going to say it directly to you. And you've got to respect. You've got to respect someone who's going to say it directly to your face and not behind your back. So, for Punk, and can we fix Cena's render? He looks like a sad, droopy, puppy-faced dog.
No.
Y'all see it, right?
She'll be in her office for a moment.
You see it, right? What? Okay, moving on. But with all respect, Cena keeps saying the last time is now instead of my time is now or my time is up. That's all good, great, and all. Are you feeling the pressure? Are you feeling the heat? Is it time for you to get out the kitchen? Are you burning up?
Well, you always knew that Cena was not going to have any shortage of challengers, especially when you are now racing the clock. And even with CM Punk and the winner of Cody and Randy and, of course, Seth Rollins still sitting there waiting as well. For Cena to get to the end of the year holding on to the championship is going to be a Herculean task. And yet if there is a single person in all of WWE history who can take on a Herculean task and find a way to make it look easy, it's John Cena.
I was going to say, nobody said Cena's going to get cashed in on. It could be Gunther.
It could be just as easily. Or Goldberg, that's possible too.
It could
Maybe
be Gunther.
Goldberg pulls the upset, then Rollins cashes in on him,
You never know. Nobody said it's 100% has to be Cena.
No.
Just saying, until Seth makes that choice, that's where we stand at. So everybody got to keep their head on a swivel. Oba, keep your head on a swivel. Maybe he wants to go back down there and rule over NXT.
Y'all are pissing me off bringing this old ass man back. put him in
Or
retirement.
That's another event because she'll go on for 30 minutes about Goldberg if you give him an opportunity.
Put his ass in retirement and let him be. Do not.
This is his retirement match.
He's already said that. This is his retirement match, one way or another. So he's gone after this.
I hope so, because I can't. My blood pressure cannot take that.
The point being is, now, an interesting little sidebar here, and I asked a question earlier in the show about where did a movie thing come from, or where did a movie line come from. I'm going to pose a trivia question here for our audience here, and I'll give you all a chance to kind of brew your minds together. But over John Cena's entire career, provided that, we do get a clean finish to this match, CM Punk has an opportunity to become one of only 2 wrestlers, active or not, to have a winning record over John Cena in their career if they've had at least 5 matches one-on-one. Because right now, over their history, this will be the 15th time that CM Punk and John Cena will go head-to-head. They're 6-6 with a draw and a no contest on their records in terms of things. So if Punk was to go over John Cena, whether he wins the title or not, he could take it by DQ, then CM Punk would become only the 2nd person to have a career winning record over John Cena over their lifetime if they've had at least 5 matches.
Who is the other person?
Well, that's the thing is, I'm going to give everybody time to kind of brew for a little bit, throw your answers in the comments. I'll be happy to present that answer a little bit later on in the week, but, give you a chance to kind of keep that in your head there a little bit. But either way, this is another one of John Cena's, tour runs. He's basically getting to steer his own ship to his retirement, and I think he's done the right to earn it. And, CM Punk was one of his best stories, in terms of them carrying the company for well over a year with the title going back and forth between each other multiple times before they made a decision to let a certain Mexican aristocrat use Money in the Bank to cash in and ruin both of them. But that's neither here nor there.
Don't get me started on that. Let's skip over.
But either way, let's move into our picks here for what we believe is the main event.
Wait. Did Alyssa get a chance to speak?
My one piece.
My apologies on that.
I'll say my one piece. This rarely happens. Most times, at least in my opinion, most times you'll have one person who is fire on the mic and who will have you convinced, and then the other person's like, okay, you might be all right. This is one rivalry where it is like, my God, they both have you convinced, mic-wise. It's really going to come down to the ring. Because I'm telling you, listening to both of them spit their promos, spit their facts from the past, it's like...
Nobody?
Golly, who am I going to choose?
They're both, they're top 2, top 3.
No, for real. Like, both of them are fire on the mic. You have had some people where Cena has gone just in this little stretch in this 6 months, and he has just eaten them alive on the mic. And it's just like, golly.
Right.
But Punk right over there with him, like, nah, big fella, you trying to be me. And I said, oh, not trying to be me. Wait!
You're just trying to do what I already made famous.
Like, who do you sound like? Ooh, all right, CM Punk. I said, oh, my God.
Because everything you're trying to do, I already did it.
Scandalous, child. Scandalous. Crazy work. But this is one where it's like, golly, like, most times when I take my picks into account, I go wrestling talent, promo ability, who's in the pocket with the person who runs the show. I feel like they're both in the pocket. There's no real, okay, he's in their pocket. Like, I'm not worried about them. They can both spit fire on the mic, and they both are historically very good at the ring. So it's like, my techniques are not here. So this is just going to be a 50-50.
Up to one.
It's all right. It's like, that's just going to be.
Well, you're up first, so you actually do get to tell us how that flip went in your head.
Wonderful. Honestly, I'm just going to go ahead and say Cena. I'm sorry. I like Punk. He's doing his thing. But, I mean, I don't know.
When we
I have a gut feeling with Cena, and he's not afraid to go below the belt. So.
Right. When we sit here and we say cockroaches, did we put CM Punk on that list?
He used to be. He's kind of lost that ability a little bit in his older years now. Cena absolutely used to have that ability as well, and then he went into a bad stretch where he couldn't buy one to save his life. So I'm also going to take John Cena for a singular purpose. First of all, this is going to be easily one of the most entertaining matches of the year. You know both of them are going to talk the absolute trashiest of the trash. It is going to sound like two Jada Parkers in there.
Right.
Just absolutely spitting fire the entire time. I want John Cena to win this match for one reason and one reason only, and that is because his next stop is likely Saturday night's main event in Atlanta. And if Landon is going to be seeing John Cena, it would only be appropriate for him to be WWE champion at the time that he returns back to Atlanta. So for that, and really that reason only, because honestly, this would be a coin flip in my head as well. I'm just going to go champion's advantage. I'll go with John Cena.
Yeah, this is a hoping. Please.
I mean, when CM Punk was facing Cody Rhodes, I could have seen it at that point. Him, like, if it wasn't anybody but Cena, I could see him going over, and then him and Cody would have gone head to head, you know. But now that I'm actually looking at it, and it's now in hindsight, and hindsight is in front of me, it really does make sense for either it to be, like Alyssa stated, either Cena and Cody or Cena and Randy. So nothing against Punk. He's great. He's good. He is what he is. Cena, I think the only thing that would probably stop Cena would be Ron Killings at this point. Because, of course, he's mad. He's angry.
That man cut his hair off.
Let me put it for you like this.
Candy camera.
Let me put it for you like this. And someone actually hit me with the knowledge and the facts that was not one of you, so I was kind of surprised. You had R-Truth, who was doing the same thing before Cena, but then Cena comes in and starts rapping and the jeans and the jorts and the tennis shoes and everything like that, and Cena just automatically takes over, leaving Truth, kind of as a backstop.
Just once again, I'm not
saying
we're giving the vibe of the chosen one,
right.
of the hand-picked,
one, the golden boy,
the golden goose, the golden boy, whatever you want to call it.
So the only way I don't see Cena.
No shame.
The only way I don't see Cena taking this is if, like, Ron Killings has something to do with it. But with all respect to Punk, I love you. Cena's gonna hit you below the belt. He gonna hit you in the face. He gonna chop you.
Punk's gonna come ready for that.
He's gonna nutcracker you. He's gonna do whatever he gotta do to keep that title. It is gonna be what it's gonna be. So Cena, and I swear to God, it didn't matter who was fighting. Landon's still gonna wear his Cena swag. Don't matter.
All I'm gonna say for the record as we wrap this up is that if CM Punk does win this match, Rollins is about 2 minutes behind.
Right.
Yeah.
Rollins is not going to. Rollins is on his way right then and there.
What is it? Was it expeditiously?
Right.
You know he gonna be back there. Walking on.
Right.
Ron Bronson.
In his ring,
Go handle him real quick.
He ain't
that man would be in a towel coming out there.
Yeah, right.
He is not going to let Punk hold that title for a second longer than he has to.
Because you know
my music.
Right. He gonna be like, dude.
Also, there's been some speculation about what about Rollins cashing in the middle of this match. Making it look like Heist of the Century, where once again you've got, Cena, who we all know Rollins has had issues with, and is he possibly the person who has more winning record over Cena over his career or not? But that's a curious fact for y'all to think about. But also we know his hatred of CM Punk. He's mentioned both of them by name. Rollins and Orton don't exactly have a great history either. Neither do obviously Rollins and Rhodes. So, there's definitely he's the wild card in all this. He's the Joker in all of this in terms of what you could end up with.
With all respect,
you're taking Cena.
With all respect, yes, I am. Don't do that. Let this match be what it's going to be, and let me get some good humor out of it. No offense, if Punk wins, and the next thing you see from backstage,
she's going to be coming out there. Hold my drink, thank you.
Right.
Where's my briefcase?
Right.
Paul, dear, come on,
let's go. Let's get to the ring. He ain't gonna. Y'all know this chemistry. If Rollins got beef with anybody outside of Riddle. Let's go ahead and put it for what it is. Rollins has a beef with Riddle. Rollins has a beef with Punk.
I ain't never seen nothing like that before.
No, if you want this man to have a beef with you, Riddle and Punk. And he ain't gonna he ain't gonna hold that title longer than 2 minutes. Oh, enjoy it for 2 minutes while you in the ring, because I'm about to come out and get you. Pew!
Oh, you thought you ate?
Give me that plate.
Give me that plate.
And give me that bill. Thank you. Good night.
Good night.
That wraps up our Night of Champions preview. A special start time of 1 o'clock Eastern. So if you're on the West Coast, 10 a.m., 8 o'clock if you're in Hawaii. Get up, get your breakfast, get your pineapples ready, and let's get to it. But either way, parting words real quick, and then let's call it and get us ready for Saturday.
I'm excited.
We're excited.
It's a stacked card.
It really is. I'm looking forward to it. Would you please get out of my head? Get out of my head.
This is what we said. We're excited for it. We're looking forward to it. The match is gonna be good. We're gonna be happy either way. And yeah, bye.
Why he looks like a panda?
She was a panther.
He's not a panda.
In spirit. You keep on this me.
I'm gonna eat this.